Now we're going to talk about another dub, okay? This time we're talking about Alex Jebediah Jones, okay? Everyone's favorite commentator. You already know Alex Jones and I have a bit of a rivalry. He calls me Hank Pecker. Hassan Pecker. Alex Jones is in a bit of a hot water, okay? Because he had a oopsie moment and he did the whole like Sandy Hook was staged thing, and then his followers were like, "Yeah, that's right." And then they harassed the parents and the victims of Sandy Hook. And guess what? Things are not looking too great for old Alex here. Okay, things are looking, as a matter of fact, real bad for old Alex here. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on. There's a defamation case happening right now against our brave patriot Alex Jebediah Jones.
Talk radio host Alex Jones has repeatedly given airtime to claims that the 2012 school shooting in Newtown, Connecticut was staged by the government. Those are quotes. Parents of 6-year-old Jesse Lewis are suing him for $150 million. As Janet Shamlian reports, Jones and the boy's parents came face-to-face yesterday during heart-wrenching testimony in an Austin, Texas courtroom.
I can't even describe the last 9.5 years of the living hell that I and others have had to endure because of the negligence and the recklessness of Alex Jones.
Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, the parents of Jesse Lewis, addressed the court Tuesday in their lawsuit against Alex Jones. Heslin and Lewis say they live in fear after receiving death threats, unwelcome emails, and phone calls as a result of Jones's lies.
My home was shot up. Vehicles were shot up in my yard.
Jones, who was noticeably absent for Heslin's testimony, was recording his podcast, continuing to attack the parents.
He was literally calling them slow and autistic on his broadcast while the fucking parents were offering testimony about how much they were impacted by Alex Jones' statements because his followers decided to act out his desires. Holy fucking shit.
I think it's a disrespect, and I think it is a cowardly act of Alex Jones not to be facing me here in this courtroom.
Jones appeared in court later Tuesday.
I don't think that you understand the repercussions of going on air with a huge audience and lying.
Shaking his head as Lewis spoke to him directly.
Jesse was real. I am a real mom. I know you know that. That's the problem. I know you know that. And you keep saying it. You keep saying it. Why?
The judge appearing to grow frustrated with Jones's attitude during the hearing.
I remember currently...
Stop. Remember day one where I said, it's an unfair world and you don't get to interrupt the judge?
That's a woman judge. That's why women should not be allowed to serve in court. Obviously, because I'm a patriot and I said the truth that I said. A woman judge is gonna try to take me down, just like divorce court took me down one time. Ladies and gentlemen, AlexJones.com, Infowars.com. Women judges should be made illegal.
Sure. Yeah.
Jones attempted to speak with the parents after taking the stand, shaking hands with them. An attorney for the family quickly ended the interaction, exchanging words with Jones on the way out of the courtroom.
I wasn't kidding. I know this, by the way. For the record, I do know this. Alex Jones said the judge and the plaintiff's lawyers in the Sandy Hook trial all act demonically possessed and are committed to an occult ideology of the New World Order.
Thank you for joining us on this live Tuesday worldwide transmission. Sandy Hook trials they have lined up that have now started to shut us down. Then they brag on CNN and MSNBC with top Democrat officials that the goal is to set this pattern with Alex Jones and then go after everybody else.
I'm sorry that it's 1P, boys. Okay, just shut the fuck up and listen. Okay, just listen.
These are authoritarians. That's why they had to default me in all 4 cases, saying I turned over nothing, while they sit there and show the juries that are deciding how guilty I am, not if I'm guilty or innocent, showing the juries all these emails and all these videos that we turned over to them, while the judge tells them every day, twice.
You know what's really funny about this? He's just describing how fact-finding works. He's literally just describing how, like, the normal court procedure would work in a defamation suit like this, and he's the one who is, this is the evidence that you have to present to a jury and the judge on a fucking trial. Like, he's literally just describing discovery, but because you're supposed to go, oh yeah, well, that's Alex, like, he's a good guy, I love him, you just don't even think about it like that. You just go, oh man, that's right, that's really fucked up that they're, hurting my man like
today.
this.
Remember, this man's guilty. You're here to decide how guilty he is. He didn't give us anything. He's a bad person. Even in third world dictatorships, when they have kangaroo courts, they don't have the judge tell the jury this person is guilty. And they're all caricatures of what you would imagine in some alternate universe of dwarf goblins. It's demonic. They all act demonically possessed. The judge, the lawyers, it's surreal to be around them. And it makes you feel sorry for them because these people are committed to a cult ideology of the New World Order. And they're never going to stop. They're getting rid of all the checks and balances, all of our basic freedoms. They've gutted the border. They're promoting pedophilia everywhere.
Bro, if I was under a fucking defamation suit, I probably wouldn't call the judge a pedophile. You know what I mean? Like, when you're currently on trial for defamation and you're getting your ass blasted, why the fuck would you turn around and be like, the judges are doing pedophilia, they're pedophile, demonic monsters? Like, he just can't stop himself, I think. Do you still think he's CIA? Yes. He went in double down. That's why you aren't as great a showman. I am not as great a showman as Alex Jones. That's true. I have said time and time again that Alex Jones would be an incredible performance artist, and he was an incredible performance artist. The problem is that we as a society are not equipped to just take in what Alex Jones is doing as performance art and just like appreciate his mental illness. We are also collectively so mentally ill that we listen to him and we go, well, this guy is not just entertaining, he's also right. And I must act. I must act out his desires. Do you understand? You guys know that I am a gigantic fan of Alex Jones, like straight up. I have talked time and time again. Alex Jones is a brilliant, brilliant entertainer. Anyone who has done anything in the entertainment industry will recognize that if you are able to separate the artist from the art. And I'm not the only one who felt this way. I mean, that's why he made appearances in A Scanner Darkly and plenty of other movies originally, you know what I mean? Like, but the issue is, of course, that you know, he takes it way too fucking far. Way too fucking far. And he's also a gigantic piece of shit with how he makes money. All of his bits, I guess, or all of his conspiracy theories genuinely revolve around making money for himself. He'll talk about how the frogs are being turned gay by government water. And then immediately after that, he'll use that as an opportunity to say, here's how you can not get fucking owned by government water and turn into a homosexual by getting some of my straws, like the water cleansing straws. Right? So that's how he makes his money. And for the record, he makes a lot of it. Okay? I just need you to understand something here. Like when I found out through discovery, through following this court case, how much money this motherfucker was making, it blew my goddamn mind. Okay? Real top G behavior. Folks, Alex Jones made upwards of $800,000 a fucking day, according to court documents. The texts and emails are finally revealing financials behind Infowars. Some days in 2018, Infowars was making $800,000 a day. Well, after your deplatforming, your numbers keep getting better, says the Sandy Hook parents' lawyer. If they keep that up, that's $300 million a year. Alex Jones says $800,000 a day was a really good week during CPAC where they were doing better business. And the only reason why we know this information is because Alex Jones decided to do the Elon Musk thing, shouts out to Felix Biederman for this joke, and hired fucking Twitter lawyers, I guess, because his team is so incompetent. Remember, we're talking about $800,000 a day this motherfucker was making, okay, in 2018. $800,000 in one fucking day. That's like XQC doesn't make that kind of money. You understand? A couple things I must say about this is, one, time and time again, I have told you, it is infinitely easier to become a reactionary right-wing grifter than it is to be a fucking left-wing broadcaster, even if you are not a grifter. Right-wing grifters become Alex Jones and interview the fucking president, who then becomes the fucking president. Do you think deplatforming Jones still limited his audience even if he made more money off of it? Yes, I do. I do think that deplatforming Alex Jones was good, ultimately. What you also don't understand is that Alex Jones still had a gigantic fucking platform in AM radio. He was all over. And he still had a vast amount of support, like a vast amount of support from right-wing reactionaries who would go on a show. The president was on a show, man. And here, finally, it's time to show you this big reveal. His fucking law team are comprised of absolute idiots, okay?
So you did get my text messages. And it said you didn't. Nice trick.
Yes, Mr. Jones.
Oh.
Indeed. You didn't give this text message to me. You don't know where this came from. Do you know where I got this?
No.
Mr. Jones, did you know that 12 days ago, 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years, and when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protect it in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have text messages about Sandy Hook. Did you know that?
I told you the truth. This is your Perry Mason moment. I gave them my phone, and then...
Mr. Jones, you need to answer the question.
No,
Did you know this happened?
No, I didn't know this happened. But I mean, I told you I gave them the phone over.
Just
And
answer the question.
You said in your deposition, you searched your phone. You said you pulled down the text, did the search function for Sandy Hook. That's what you said, Mr. Jones, correct?
And I had several different phones with this number, but I did, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's that. Oh, I forgot to mention. Oh, that's right. Child porn was found in documents Alex Jones sent to lawyers of Sandy Hook families, according to the court filing. Oh, my, oh, my. How the fucking turntables? Now, this is the older fucking article. The absolute treasure trove of data that we are going to get. This is from 2019. The absolute treasure trove of data that hasn't been completed. Now that his lawyers didn't even try to fucking say that this discovery should be taken out, that they accidentally sent the entirety of text messages and everything else that they fucking sent over to the Sandy Hook lawyers and the Sandy Hook families. Oh my Lord, dude.
Mr. Bankston also only asked questions.
Sure. Mr. Jones, in discovery, you were asked, do you have Sandy Hook text messages on your phone? And you said no, correct? You said that under oath, Mr. Jones, didn't you?
I mean, if I was mistaken, I was mistaken, but you got the message.
He's like, yeah, I perjured myself, whatever.
It's right there.
You know what perjury is, right? I just want to make sure you know before we go any further. You know what it is.
Yes, I do. I mean, I'm not a tech guy. I told you I gave in my testimony the phone to the lawyers before or whatever, and so you got my phone, but we didn't give it to you.
No, Mr. Jones. One more time. And please remember, if you need to assert the Fifth Amendment, you can. I need to know that you can do that. But you testified.
I don't know if they fucking did this shit on purpose, but goddamn, dude, it sure feels like it was done on purpose considering how fucking awful they are. I mean, look at his face, bro. This is literally the moment that he realizes, like, they have all of his text messages, like everything from his fucking phone. Every single thing from his phone. January 6th committee is planning to request Alex Jones's text messages and emails from the Sandy Hook attorneys after his lawyer accidentally sent years worth of comms to the plaintiffs, dude. So, you know, it ain't over, boys. It ain't over. Hold on 1 second. Let me just run that back again. That's right. So Alex Jones might be facing a criminal prosecution on top of this defamation suit. That's right, baby. Rarely ever do you see this kind of karmic justice. But I guess after fucking up for so many goddamn years and you know, making up the $800,000 a day off of it, you end up slipping through the cracks no matter how fucking fat you are. Just saying. Does he just have the worst lawyers in the world? Yes. This is convincing me that Alex Jones is CIA. Now they have texts with fash gangs. All I'm saying is I've been under the impression and have talked about how I personally believe that Alex Jones is fucking CIA and that his goal ultimately is to belittle and undermine real conspiracies that the government engages in regularly by having one good take in a sea of 1,000 psychotic takes to make it seem like every time you say something like, well, did you know about the MK Ultra trials? It's like, well, the only person who's talking about it is someone like fucking Alex Jones. So ultimately you're going to be like, well, he also talks about psychotic pedophile vampires and shit. So obviously all of that must be fake. Alex Jones is a fake conspiracy theorist created by the CIA to ensure that real government conspiracies, conspiracy to conspire, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about fucking conspiracy theories. Real things that the government does makes it seem ridiculous because the only person who's outing said things is a belligerent, psychotic person with high blood pressure. L-Take is just a dumbass. I don't know, man. I don't know. If he was CIA, he would have half-decent lawyers. No, the CIA is woke now. The CIA is fucking woke now, so now they're turning on one of their old assets. Anyway, let's continue with the trial coverage here, okay? Because there's still a lot that went into this incredible trial.
You may not say to this jury that you complied with discovery. That is not true. You may not say it again. You may not tell this jury that you are bankrupt. That is also not true. You may have filed for bankruptcy. I don't know that, but I've heard that. That doesn't make a person or a company bankrupt.
I mean, easy on the attacks there, Sweaty. You're clearly dealing with a neurodivergent person. You know what I mean? Like, he's a pathological liar. He can't stop himself. You're just going to really shit on a man because he can't fucking stop himself from lying? Like, okay, well, it's kind of fucked up. And, you know, don't ask me if he's neurodivergent. Alex Jones says it himself, you know, famously, both on the Joe Rogan Experience, but also even in the court.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
So there's that. But also, he said that in court as well.
The comments about discovery, the comments about the larynx or whatever it was, the comments about bankruptcy, none of those were responsive to questions. They were just you abusing my tolerance and making asides to the jury improperly and in at least 2 cases, untruthfully. Do you understand what I have said? Yes or no? Do you understand what I have said?
Yes, I believe what I said was true. So I don't.
Yes, you believe everything you say is true, but it isn't. Your beliefs do not make something true. That is what we're doing here. Just because you claim to think something is true does not make it true. It does not protect you. It is not allowed. You are under oath. That means things must actually be true when you say them. Don't talk. You understand what I have said.
I do understand.
You understand the instructions I have given you for your testimony in court.
Yes.
Oh, here. This was the Alex Jones court chat, by the way. Praying for you, Alex. We love you and deserve to speak your First Amendment right. The way the courts are treating you is out of line. # free Alex Jones. And then the other person saying, the real Alex Jones is not even there. Which is true. It's true. How could he be doing his broadcast and also be in court at the same time? You know what I mean?
Shooting of Representative Gabrielle Giffords. You remember when that happened in Arizona?
Yes.
Okay, and you said that was a government mind control operation, right?
I said the guy fit the bill.
Did you say he fit the bill, or did you tell your audience explicitly that was a government mind control operation?
I
What did you do?
I didn't know you were going to bring this up. That was a long time ago.
What about the Sutherland Springs church shooting just down the road from here? That wasn't that long ago. You said that was fake, an Antifa false flag staged operation, right?
I believe we said that happened. No question, like Uvalde.
I love that. I love that. He's like, well, we admitted that happened. We just said it was Antifa. He's like, yeah, I got you there. I said Antifa did it. That means somebody did it. I'm admitting that it happened. I didn't say all the shootings were fake. The ones that were conducted and committed by Antifa were real.
So that's why the judge is rigging a court proceeding to make sure that the script, this is literally a script gets told in a certain way for future audiences.
That man's name is Robert Barnes?
Yes.
Okay. That's Infowars? Okay.
Yes.
He was hosting your show on the 29th?
Yes.
Well, you were on the show for part of the 29th, right? You were in the courtroom part of it, on your show part of it.
I believe so.
Okay. And Mr. Barnes, he's a frequent anchor on Infowars?
He's been a frequent guest for about 6 years or so.
He's also represented you in this case as an attorney?
Yes.
Okay. You say, Mr. Jones, that you're taking these court proceedings seriously. You're approaching them in good faith. But the truth of the matter is, you've been broadcasting repeatedly a picture of our judge on fire, haven't you?
Objection compound, Your Honor.
No.
You have to wait till the court rules.
Oh.
Overruled. There was a statement and then a question.
Mr. Jones, I'm going to hand you what I've marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 129. That's from your show, isn't it?
I can't understand. Better way to get fucking absolutely destroyed other than doing exactly this. That is so insane. He's on trial for stochastic terrorism, defamation that led to actual instances of like genuine and legitimate harassment. And he's trying to do that to the fucking judge. That is wild, bro.
That's justice on fire.
Huh, okay. That's from your show, isn't it?
Yes, I haven't seen this.
And you've been running this video repeatedly, haven't you?
No, I've not been there all the time.
You haven't been there a lot of the time. You've been there every day this last week, haven't you?
He's saying that's justice itself, not the specific judge. Even though I did say that the current lady judge is a pedophile demon. And by that I meant Lady Justice instead. It's awesome when he just like runs with like, no, it's actually Lady Justice. It's not the lady judge that is, in the court with me right now.
Is this impeachment evidence? Is this I'm not exactly sure what Mr. Bankston wants to do with.
I think he wants to impeach Mr. Jones with it.
Does he want to introduce it? Is it just to show to the jury, or does he want it to
No, I
go
think
into evidence?
I'm first moving to
moved it
admit it as
into
evidence.
evidence. He's moving that it be accepted into evidence. Do you have an objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the legal objection?
401, 403.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, you may, Your Honor.
Plaintiff's 129 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you just...
Wait, did she grant it or deny it?
Plaintiff's 129 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Denied, bitch. I'm saying the objection was denied. Therefore, it is still given. It will be shown to the jury. Dude, that's awesome. Literally no better way. No better way to, I mean, she's even fucking smiling at this point. It's like, no better way to get absolutely dicked down by the longest dick of the law than to just like make inferences, try to do the same thing you're on trial for to the fucking judge. I can't get over it. I cannot get over it. I can't. Like, it is so wild. It's like driving drunk to your drunk driving court case and like driving drunk directly into the fucking room. Like driving your car to the fucking wall like the Kool-Aid man and be like, I'm not drunk, Your Honor.
The person...
Yeah, that's Lady Justice on fire, chat. Hey, chat. That's Lady Justice on fire. He didn't mean like this judge should be lit on fire. Just Lady Justice. I can't do this. I mean, this is the most, dude, this is the most incredible. This is like mathematically the worst thing you can do. I cannot think of a word, like it's an admission. It's also a direct attack on the person who's deliberating on the case. Like I don't understand how you could do such a thing. Do you get it? Your sense of entitlement has gone beyond the January 6th insurrectionists at this point. Remember how I talked about the entitlement that a lot of people felt, and that's why they thought like they could just go and be like, Derek Evans has penetrated the Capitol building. You know what I mean? Like live streaming yourself as a person running for fucking, a state legislature seat. During January 6th, we saw that people were just straight up like so entitled to what the government was supposed to do for them that they thought that they could get away with doing January 6th. Alex Jones has somehow gone beyond that, dude. He's gone beyond that.
On the left of this image is our judge, correct?
Yes.
The person on the right is another judge you don't like, right?
Yes.
Okay. One of the things you can take that down. One of the things you've been talking about a lot recently on your show, even within the past couple months, is your allegation that government officials are aiding in pedophilia, child trafficking, and the grooming of children, right?
You mean like what Jeffrey Epstein did with the Clintons?
Sure, if that's a yes. Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And on Thursday, you and Infowars started connecting those allegations to our judge, didn't you?
No.
In fact, Mr. Jones, you're telling the world not to believe what happens in this courtroom because the judge worked with Child Protective Services, who you say is involved with pedophilia and child trafficking. Correct?
Oh my God. It's so fucking good, dude. It doesn't stop. Every part of this is just relatable. Honestly, wait, hold on. After they leaked it, Alex Jones's lawyer who leaked his phone sitting there motionless trying to look like the thinker. This is 100% what I would do. Yeah, I was just like, huh. How did that get into the hands of the Sandy Hook lawyers? I love that. Every part of this is real content gold, especially because like there's a clear evil and a clear good here. You know what I mean? The only people that are on the side of Alex Jones in this are the most unhinged people that haven't been Ashley Babbitt'd yet. You know what I mean? If I don't make a move, no one will see me. Yeah, I would do some shit like that too.
Judge Maya Gamble comes from CPS, who has been exposed for human trafficking.
I love when he was like, no, I never actually linked her back to pedophiles. And then there is just a straight up fucking news segment that Infowars did where he is linking the judge back to Child Protective Services and therefore pedophiles.
And working with pedophiles.
That's what you mean when you say you're taking this seriously.
I take this as serious as cancer. And I mean, I don't know, you show somebody else's clip that they're always a few seconds long. Why don't you play the whole thing?
Mr. Jones, that's not someone else's clip, is it?
Well, I didn't direct it or produce it, what I'm saying. I mean,
You certainly published it.
I'm not standing behind it. I have to see the full thing.
So you don't stand by the things you publish about our judge on your show repeatedly, day after
No, I
day.
said I don't not stand behind it. I need to see not just 5-second clips.
Well, we can talk about what you said before that.
Can you play, how long's the clip? Can you play the whole clip?
Mr. Jones, you're not asking questions today. You understand that, sir?
Oh, I thought I could ask to see a full document. If somebody showed me something, I could see what it was.
This is a question from the lawyer, answer from the witness.
Okay.
Not the other way around.
The only thing I want to ask you about is not all the other weird stuff you said in that video. I just wanted to ask you about the question that I asked you, which you said, no, I'm not saying the judge is connected to pedophile and child trafficking. This is you taking this trial seriously and in good faith? That's what this is?
It's a 5-second clip. I don't know what you've cut off or on.
Does it matter? Is there anything before and after that that would make it great to show pictures of our judge on fire and telling the world she's involved in pedophile? Can you tell me the context that would occur before or after that makes that great?
Why the fuck, like, what would lead you to unironically make the decision on your psychotic conspiracy network to shit on the fucking judge, like, while you're on trial for defamation and its genuine material harmful impact? Like, why would you ever even bring up the judge's name? Like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, is he trying to say is he trying to fucking like plead insanity or something? Like, I don't get it. He's just like, he's one speed, brother. You gotta respect it, you know? He's like, he only knows one way to deal with it. What is Alex Jones' defense for this trial? I'm not gonna lie, he doesn't seem to have one. Like, we've been watching it since the jump, and he has not brought up anything. Like, the only thing he's done, in his defense strategy, the only thing he's done is further, like, solidify that he loves doing defamation on his broadcast. It's very, very weird. He can't defend himself. He already lost. This is a damages trial. Okay, but like there's nothing here to defend. He's not doing a good job of trying to defend himself at all. Because like, for everybody who says like, well, can he just take the it's just entertainment route? He already tried and failed. Because no matter what, even if you're doing like the it's just entertainment route, you can still defame someone. And especially in the United States of America, it is very hard to win a defamation case in comparison to other places, right? And I talked about this extensively during the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, which is why it was wild that Johnny Depp won that. But like, what you shouldn't probably do is further defame the judge that is deliberating over your case in a defamation trial. And he's basically, it seems like he can't stop himself. Like, I don't know. I don't know what he could do, but I certainly know what he shouldn't do. And he's doing what he shouldn't be doing, which is calling the judge a pedophile. Here's Alex Jones speaking to reporters on day 6 of his trial.
Doing great.
Are you looking forward to hearing anything or making your case?
Well, this is all a show trial. Judges don't find people guilty in America, juries do. So she found me guilty. She lied and said we didn't give them the discovery so she could have a show trial and tell the jurors 8 times I've seen her, this man's guilty. So all of your rights.
Bro, look at how he is inside of the courtroom versus how he is outside of the courtroom. It's pretty fucking funny when you think about it. Homie's out here blasting, okay? Homie's out here fucking blasting the judge, especially when he is on his own show. He literally calls her a pedophile. In there, he's like, me, I don't know.
For the Democratic Party have fully weaponized the judiciary to persecute people, just like Rick Perry, who they indicted for vetoing a bill. They indicted him, or Tom DeLay. They've done this over and over again, and she hopes the jury doesn't learn what she's done. She even tried to sign a document saying we couldn't mention the First Amendment or say we're innocent. All I did was speculate and ask questions. I have a right to do that. It has been the lawyers, the Democratic Party, and the whole Sandy Hook anti-gun crew that has attached themselves to me for years. They've talked more in this trial about Sandy Hook than I ever did in 10 years. They make money off of it. They live off of it, and that's the truth.
Mr. Jones, we know you're a father. Mr. Heslin took the stand today. Do you have anything you want to say to him as a father?
Why weren't you there this morning?
What we have is gun control groups trying to use dead children to take not just the Second Amendment, but now the First Amendment away from America, and it will fail.
That was just fucking, I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, that's just fire top to bottom, you know what I mean? So I did a little oopsie. What did I do? Well, I sort of turned over the entire contents of your mobile phone to the lawyers suing you for hundreds of millions of dollars. How about we focus on all the stuff I didn't accidentally send them, though? Nobody's perfect. It's crazy because, like, I get that you're under a lot of stress with the lawsuit, but I literally have anxiety. This is so awesome, dude. This is when lawyers are good, apparently. Okay? That's Allah Liker. He's a lawyer. I mean, he's joking there. Plaintiff's counsel brought the matter to defense counsel attention the day the link was sent writing. I forwarded this email to my paralegal to download this production. He asked me to take a look because it was a huge amount of material he was downloading, and he wanted me to verify that he needed to download all of it. I looked through the directories, and they seem to contain a lot of confidential information, such as depositions and records relating to the Lafferty plaintiffs, and material which appears to be work product or confidential. My assumption is now that you did not intend to send us this. Let me know if I'm correct. That's what Mark Bankston said. The defense counsel responded, "Thank you, Mark. There appears to have been a mistake in the file transfer. I'm trying to get you the Lafferty production. Please disregard the link, and I will work on resending." Hey, the 30 gigs of data that we sent over to you, just disregard it. Just, can I get a oopsie there? Can we get a mulligan on that one? Can you disregard 30 gigs of data that I sent over of my client's confidential information? God, I would do anything to read everything in all corners of the 30 gigs of data. In your defense, Honor, I sent my client's text by accident, so takesies, backsies. So, thought here, we're going to look through the emergency file motion here, because yesterday they tried to earlier today, they tried to file an emergency motion, Alex Jones's lawyers, to claim that because they leaked this information and then didn't even call it like privileged or anything like that, didn't even try to hide any of it, that like technically it's grounds for a mistrial. And which, of course, was denied in the end. They tried to pull a oopsie motion, okay? They literally were like, Your Honor, I fucked up. None of us are perfect, okay?
First, let me just go through the facts that they were said. This link of materials was sent to me. It was sent to Mr. Ogden. It was sent by Mr. Reynolds' legal assistant, also to Mr. Reynolds, also to Mr. Maglio. Okay? As I informed Mr. Reynolds, we started downloading those.
Bro, homie was on the CC, okay? He was CC'd in on it.
I was busy on trial prep. I told my paralegal, get these on our server, download everything there. All right. A little bit after he gets this stuff downloading, it's like, wait a second, this file that we now have on our server has clogged up our entire server. It's like 300 gigs. What's going on? So at that point, which again, material's in my possession at that moment. At that point, I notified Mr. Reynolds. And under Rule 193.3 about inadvertent production. All right? It's funny to me that in this motion, Mr. Reynolds actually blocked quotes 193.3.
Wait, I thought it was 30 gigs. 300? Bro, you know there's some weird shit in there. 300 gigs? What the fuck? My man accidentally leaked the entire, like, what the fuck? Oh, I would want to watch all of that. I would want to read through all of that until it gave me fucking brain disease, okay? Oh my God, that is so much. What does he have in there? What is he texting? He's like 50 years old. How is he texting that much? Because I'm this much of a fucking boomer, I don't have 300 gigs on my fucking phone. I don't have 300 gigs worth of data on my phone. What the fuck does Alex Jones have? How much trans porn does he have on his phone? How much? I need to fucking know, dude. Listen, you don't understand. Some of these are 4K. Some of these are 8K. You understand me? I need to watch all the trans porn on the internet to hone my skills of being transphobic. You think this is not an everyday thing, but I need to consume all of it.
He was downloading the material, but he wanted to verify with me that he needed to download it all. Right? That is immediately contrary to what Mr. Bankston is saying now, which is that all the materials have been downloaded by the time he sent me that text. Beyond that, it also appears that Mr. Bankston once more is performing for a national audience. The text messages that were provided, what he refers to as Mr. Jones's phone, based on my review of what was produced, it's not in there. Okay?
Wait, so how did he get it? What did he fucking, did he just, how did he have access to it then? Wait, what? Dog, you sent them 300 gigs worth of data. How did he fucking find the text messages? I don't know. So here's a couple things. One, we already talked about the exchange. Jones has already been deposed by the January 6th committee, and he claimed he pleaded the fifth more than 100 times. As you guys know, so the copy of the copy of the records have been subpoenaed by the January 6th committee. So that's a GG at this point. Now, there's another part of this too, by the way. This is a fun part. Over on Infowars, Jones is saying his cell number and home address are circulating in his call and calls it a test and persecution. He's talking about going into the middle of enemy hyenas as they tear me into pieces. I told you 20 years ago, I'd be destroyed, he adds. My destruction will be spectacular, and it will be a lot to others, with some whooping and hollering. Let's just go to the big man himself. Let's hear what he had to say about how his phone, his information leaking to the federal government, his phone conversations, text messages leaking to the January 6th committee. How will that play out for him?
You talk about perjury. You talk about crazy, but see, they know they control the appeals court, they control the Texas bar, and they control that Soros leftist judge, so they can do anything. But that's okay. I'm not here to keep my head down. I'm not here to sit on the sidelines. I asked to be in the arena. I prayed to God to help me expose the New World Order because I want to stop these globalist pedophile rings. And I knew the mark of the beast was coming, and I knew it was the right thing to do. So I'm not like all these other so-called men that are in the arena. I'm in the arena. But I want you to know I am fighting for you and for my own family and for all of us. And I need your hope, your prayers, and your support. Today or tomorrow, after the jury comes in with their first verdict, then they have the punitive damages, and they'll testify again on net worth. And I'm going to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and you'll hear about everything I've got at that. I was there this morning with lawyers making damn sure everything's listed. How many cars I got, the house I got. They put my cell phone number out. I got to get a new number now. They put my cell phone number out in court yesterday. Home addresses, all of it. This is all.
He's saying that the judges doxed them because they're all working for a network of like pedophile defenders. To the uninitiated, who is not familiar with Alex Jones, you'll be taking victory laps. Okay, you'll say, oh, here's Alex Jones recognizing his demise. Me, on the other hand, I'm not just an uninitiated Alex Jones watcher. I'm a fan. Some might say a fanboy, a stan even, an Alex Jones head. So I know what he's really doing. What he's doing right now is to fundraise. He's going to turn around and say, I need your help to fight the satanic pedophiles. Please give me money. Watch.
Part of my persecution. That's okay. I said, pick up your cross and follow me. And if you're following me, you're going to get persecuted. I know this life is a flash. This is a test. And I'm sure not perfect, believe that. But I mean well, and I love God, and I love justice. And I am extremely honored to be here. And this is exactly where I wanted to be. But I want to ask you at this part of the most intense fight beginning, at the crucible, as I go into the middle of the enemy hyenas to literally tear me to pieces. You think this is bad? It's going to get a lot worse. I told you a long time ago. I will be destroyed. I told you that 20 years ago. I told you that 10 years ago, because they're coming for you next.
They're not just coming for me because I'm a truth teller, but they're coming for you as well. Classic. So give me the money to defend you. I need support from you. They're going to take all the dollars from me.
And when they're annihilating and killing billions of you, I want you to remember that I fought for you. Because through this fight coming, we will overcome these people. I won't overcome them in my lifetime. But many of you watching will in yours. They're going down. I am in the arena. Yeah! This is where I want to be. This is the way to go down, baby. This is just the beginning. My destruction will be spectacular. And it will be a light to others to lead the charge into the future for our children.
In segues, of course, it's an ad for his new book, God Showed Me the Path Forward. Jones says, unusual amount of Christian persecution references today. He usually sprinkles them in, but today the top has fallen off the salt shaker. Roger Stone is going to be on Infowars at the top of next hour, Jones says. He also acknowledges they're waiting for the verdict. He's ruminating on why he lives in Austin. My family's been here since the 1820s, but it's controlled by the globalists now. Jones is describing Infowars as insolvent. He didn't know how bad their financial situation was 6 months ago. The veracity of these statements will be explored in bankruptcy court. He's working up to ask his audience, you guessed it, for money. Now, this is the second part of this process that's actually going to be hilarious, because there's bankruptcy bankruptcy proceedings that are going to happen. And during those bankruptcy proceedings, they're going to figure out exactly how much money this motherfucker made. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if we'll have access to that kind of information. I really wish we would, but we're not going to be able to see that. Jones said he's starting to make phone calls to his wealthy acquaintances today asking for money. Says the orders have come down from on high to shut him down so we can't report on the fraud in the upcoming midterms. He's called this new fundraiser Operation David. Bankruptcy proceedings are public, but I just mean, like, I don't know. I don't know if we'll be able to have information for this. Also, newsflash, verdict is in, and we are awaiting the announcement. Who's got a link?
All right, the verdict is signed by 10 members of the jury.
The verdict was $4.1 million in damages to 2 Sandy Hook parents. But there is more evidence that they want to look at, so case is not yet over.
That's it? Wait, there's another one? Wait, I don't understand. Oh, there are 2 more. Okay, this is just the start of the charges. Okay, so Alex Jones is at least 5.11 million judgment against Alex Jones, just compensatory damages. Punitive comes later. Okay, well, hopefully they will be able to milk that fucking cow for everything he's got. But as it stands, the first count is 5.11 million. Jones said yesterday during questioning that anything over 2 million would destroy him. Although this is obviously a lot less than 150 million. These are the damages for the Alex Jones defamation suit. He lost the defamation case, and these are some of the damages, like the awards that he's going to get. Some of the awards that he has to pay the victims in this circumstance. The judge said that after sentencing was normally when they would be released, but they were not because there's new evidence and new charges, so the case is continuing tomorrow. Like, what does that mean? What new evidence came out? Like additional charges? Additional defamation? Oh, before we finish this up, actually, hold on, I got to show you another thing. And if you want to understand, like, Alex Jones doesn't give a fuck about anything. Here it is. Here he is confronting the Sandy Hook parents, getting cut off by the lawyer.
I think you told me all the stuff you said and then manipulated. That's it. I'm not talking to you. You're not doing this.
He literally went up to a fucking to the parent who his fans have harassed and said all the stuff you said have been manipulated.
Let's be honest on here. I think you told me all the stuff you said and then manipulated. That's it. I'm not talking to you. You're not doing this. That's not even a thought. That's not the way this goes. Why, because you can't feed them fake videos anymore? No, shut your mouth. That's what you're trying to do, shut my mouth. You'll never succeed. My son's autistic. I think I'm autistic too, buddy.
That was pretty funny when he said, I think I'm autistic too, buddy.
Edited tapes. You guys got caught. Downstairs.
Someone on my Reddit, and I think they probably stole it from someone else, but someone fucking said that Alex Jones is built like a Mucinex booger, and that thought has never escaped my mind. Like, he just straight up literally looks like the Mucinex booger. He's built like a Fall Guy. Yep.